Hi, and welcome to my Quantum Portal Pathway Framework. I'm Tiffany, and I'm going to guide you through the steps you need to take in order to help with complete transformation and change. You are somebody who is searching for guidance on discovering your life's true purpose, really integrating and uncovering that purpose so it's connected to your professional career and journey. So the two can be connected and no longer feeling misaligned. So every day when you go to work, you're feeling fulfilled, excited, motivated, and energized to get up every day, rather than the sense of dread and frustration and irritation, maybe even anger that's presenting now. And you might want that greater meaning and fulfillment, where again, it's leading to that intense sense of satisfaction where you are feeling completely embodied in mind, body, and spirit, and that everything that you're doing has a sense of purpose and meaning, and it's very fulfilling for you. Okay, so a little bit about myself. My name is Tiffany. I am a mental health counselor and life coach, and I'm working specifically right now on my doctorate degree in transpersonal psychology. So that looks at bridging the gap between science and spirituality, exploring research that has to do with a lot of metaphysical concepts that are right now in society not really looked at or bypassed or kind of shrugged off. So in my work, I work specifically with an integration of mind, body, and spirit, looking at the science side of things, but then also spirituality, and knowing that we're multidimensional beings. So if we embody all aspects of who we are, we can fully step forward into that life path and purpose and that feeling and that calling that is just sitting there within you, and it's screaming, ready to jump out and move forward into that next step. So in my Quantum Portal Pathway Framework, these are the steps to take to help you get more aligned, to know where you want to be in life, and to step forward into that soul calling and path. So to get ready, let's jump in then on the framework of my Quantum Portal Pathway, and I will show you each of the steps to take. So my framework is a 3-step process. The first step is clearing your path. Now, this looks like 3 different steps I have set up for you. Initially, we want to look at that energetic purification. What's bogging you down energetically in your life that is keeping you from being in that flow state? Next is having that clear vision forward. If we don't really know what we want or where we want to step into, life is going to present a bazillion different options to us, and we're going to feel that sense of misdirection and misalignment. So really connecting with yourself and having that clear vision forward so you know the steps that you need to take in order to jump into that life purpose and path that feels like it's calling to you. Then setting those boundaries, learning to say no, connecting with yourself, knowing what you really want, what you need, how to say no to other people, what boundaries look like, and sculpting that into your journey so you have a strong sense of knowing what your boundaries are so that you don't have them crossed, you're not reaching those states of burnout and exhaustion, and you're feeling an equal give and take with other people and that sense of fulfillment in your life where as you give, it's no longer exerting, and you have people in your life who are going to return the favor and fulfill you in return. So that's the first step to this framework, clear your path. Next in my framework, we move then into seeing your path. So seeing your path has 4 steps. This 4-step process, when we look at seeing what your path is again that energetic space when we need to go in and energetically make a life map. So in this life map, we're looking at energy. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What's different? Then restructuring your story. You want to look at what's the story you've been telling yourself about where you're at, your past, your future, looking at the narrative that's been occurring internally, because the narrative is a really key element that creates the path to a lot of different spaces within ourselves of belief, energy, motivation, excitement. And so when we have that story reconstructed to a space that's aligned to where we really want to be at, it's going to help bring in that step to some of these next steps. So then we go into removing that anxiety. We want to dissolve it. So anxiety often comes in change and transformation and tries to derail us with What if thought processes or scenarios that just might not even exist? So we want to go in and clear the anxiety. Maybe anxiety is already showing up in your life. It is that sense of uneasiness within the body. So removing that from you completely so that you can move forward into this transformational space. Then being the architect, building that future path forward, really constructing what that looks like. If you're thinking of yourself as an architect, what's the foundational pieces? What are the walls? What's the roof? What is new? What needs to shift? What needs to change? Reconstructing that new step forward in order to get into that space you really want to be. All right, finally, the third step is be your path. In these sub-steps of be your path, we're going to do that quantum leap forward, jumping into that ideal timeline, that ideal space, that embodiment in mind, body, and spirit. What does that look like, feel like, and a complete integration at the quantum level. And then that future immersion of that self. So a lot of times when we're looking at changing a lot of parts of who we are, we need to really immerse and integrate it so it's set. It's not going to be shifted or changed in any way from life events or old patterns or people that might come in and try and derail us and get us back to that space. So really immersing yourself into that future self. Then there's the complete embodied mastery. In this step, you want to embody that self in every way. What is this new version of you doing? How do they wake up every morning? What's different in that life? What versus what you're doing now? Where's that disconnect? And how can you completely embody and master that new space and that new self? And then finally, the progressive momentum forward. A lot of times when we are in a space of change and transformation, we need to have key elements that keep us on track so we don't fall back into those old patterns or belief systems. So this is looking at what are things that you can incorporate to keep that momentum moving forward. Again, that excitement, passion, motivation that you'll be connecting to is often a very strong pull forward into those spaces because you're internally and energetically motivated by something that feels naturally aligned to you in mind, body, and spirit. So outlining what those are, make sure that you have them at easy access so you can have those consistent reminders when maybe you might have a string of doubt come in, but you have that plan and that integration and implementation already sitting there. So this is the 3-step process to quantum leaping forward. Now, if this is something that you feel called internally to really go into at a deeper level, I have a limited time offer availability right now for one-to-one coaching slots. What this looks like is that in each of those steps, we are mapping for you specifically on where you're at within your life and what you have going on and where you want to jump into and quantum leap forward. So I work with you weekly for 3 months, and we work on a very in-depth, strong transformational process where those steps are outlined for your journey and your journey alone. So if this is something that sounds like you'd really like to join me on, please follow the application button below and put in your application so that I can review it, and we'll see if we can work together to quantum leap you forward into that ideal version and timeline of yourself that you feel just called to do to align you to your soul passion, your soul purpose, and that complete embodiment energetically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, where you are that bright, shining light that has been calling internally for you for years maybe, and it is ready to show up. So if this sounds like you, please follow the link below, and I look forward to hearing from you.